how soon after the Florida offices closed did you go to TBS?
Actually, everybody went to Mid-Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
But at the time, my wife was real sick, and that's actually why I stayed, because my wife was deathly sick. God bless her. I lost her like 14 years ago. She died at the age of 22 from kidney failure.
Wow.
So she was sick for 2 years, and I worked in Florida, and the transition was after Eddie Graham died. The office was giving Dusty so much shit about production costs and about he wanted to fly this guy in and put up a stage with fireworks and that. And they said, "You crazy? We can't do that." And Jim Crockett had Dusty on the other end of the phone saying, "You can do it here." So
yeah.
I think that's pretty basically this is how I'm interpreting it, because I mean that's my concept of it.
Okay.
That's basically what happened.
Right.
With a little more details than that.
Right,
I just
sure.
wasn't there when Dusty was talking to Crockett.
Right.
Shit. So Dusty left there. Said, "Fonz, you ready to go?" And I said, "I can't go, Dream." He says, "Well, when you're ready, you call me." So I stayed in the Florida. Dusty left. That's when actually Florida started falling apart. That's when Vince started to run. That's when TBS already had been going, because I remember one time when during our hot run, we were drawing say like $20,000, which was big money every week in Orlando, every Sunday night. And Orlando was the only city in our area that was getting Channel 17, the Superstation, because nobody else was.
Right.
And so they brought Tommy Rich in for one show, and the house jumped and doubled. So somebody knew what was, something was happening. By that time, they were running the Georgia office was running those northern tours, like 6-day tours up in Michigan and Ohio, and off their TVs, and doing big business. So, but that kind of started it off. But I stayed in Florida for a while until my wife passed away, and then I went to Carolinas with Dusty and those guys.
What was it like there?
It was great. It was just like being in Florida, but a little more upswing. We were doing the bashes, the tours. I think we did the first pay-per-view there with $1 million thing with Ric Flair and all that.
The $1 million match with Flair and Dusty.
Yeah, all that started there.
Yeah.
And the difference in the Mid-Atlantic for the Crockett's and there, I mean, more money, of course, because the houses were bigger. I mean, they had a Greensboro Stadium, a Greensboro Coliseum, and Charlotte, and all those bigger places. Not actually Downey, because that was still Georgia stuff until Crockett got in and bought the rights to TBS or to whatever that deal was there. Then, we'd keep in our own territory, but which was big. So then we all went to TBS, and I was lucky enough to be there. Well, actually, after I worked for Mid-Atlantic, I came back to Florida for some reason. Because I've been in the business for 20 years, so it's hard to remember my pattern. I've got it written down a little bit of some of my pattern, but you lose a little bit of time, because I guess since 1980, I've had maybe like a year and a half downtime, maybe close to 2, where 6 months here, 8 months here, 3 months here, in between jobs or something. So that's where I get a little confused at.
Right.
Also, how I got back in TBS. I had got out of the business for a little while. You get burned out. I had made good money. I was burned out. I was tired of being away from home. You miss your birthdays. I had a kid at that time. My little girl, she's 15 years old now. I missed birthdays, Christmas. I was never home on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Christmas night was a show in somewhere in Greensboro Coliseum or Charlotte or somewhere, So you miss all that. So I got out of the business for a while. And I guess I was out for about a year or something. Let me finish this story, then I'll smoke a cigarette. I was out of business for a while. And this, I guess, was like 91 or something. So anyway, I get a phone call from Hiro Matsuda. You guys know Matsuda?
Yeah.
Train Luger and all these guys.
Train Luger. Oh, there was another thing. I was there when Luger was trained. His first matches. No, not Rick Rude. Hercules Hernandez. Ron Simmons. Just a bunch of guys that I was involved in, and they always they don't. When I see him, oh, there's Fonzie refereeing my first match, because I don't go up to the guys and say, hey, there's Rocky Johnson over here for my first match, like that. You know what I mean? So, of course, they treat you with respect. Luger always, all of them always do.
Yeah.
Just in general, not by being affiliated with
Sure.
them. So Matsuda calls me. He's the guy who trained a bunch of guys, and says, Fonzie, we're doing this big show in Japan where it's
Flair Fujinami, right?
Flair Fujinami's Atlanta office, first time joint show, the Japanese office. It's going to be a big match. Would you be interested? We want you to do it. You're the only one that can do this match. Matsuda knew I was from the old school, was serious about my business, and knew I could fucking do anything that they asked me, and was well liked. And he asked me, would you fly to Japan to do this one match? I said, yes, I would.
Weren't you already there with El Gigante, or was that something?
No, that was the first. That was the first night I met George too. But the Giant was 90. He was 90 or 91. But I had been in TBS already.
Right.
And I had been in Crockett's already. This is now I have been in hiatus. I took some time off, and maybe in a year or two, but I was out of the business. But I just got so burned out, I left.
They must have thought really highly of you if after being out of the business so long, they would call you up for that big match.
So you know where my father's not in the business. My father wasn't a promoter. My father wasn't rich. My father wasn't Tom Jones. Hey, go get the kid in.
Right.
I got it. I stayed in the business on my own talent. I'm not saying I'm greater than anybody, but I poured my heart and soul into the business, and I was good. How could I not be good? I was trained by the Briscoes and the Funks and the Old School and the Mike Grahams and the Dory Funks and the Crockett's and the Von Erichs and all those guys. How can I not absorb all that?
Right.
You know, if I'm being idiots, but I did.
Right.
So the guy called me, Matsuda called me and says, Fonz, we want you to come to Tokyo. Here's the date. Send your plane ticket. We need your visa thing. We'll send all that bullshit to you. Fine. So the date's starting to come by. I get like 2 weeks notice. And I said, I knew Dusty's the booker. All the Jim Hers are going to be there. All the Atlanta officers flying in. All the Japanese office. I want to impress Matsuda. I want to impress everybody. I know I'm doing the main event, Fujinami and Flair. What can I do to be a little more than a fucking regular guy out there with a bow tie on? I mean, there's not much more you can do.
Right.
So, of course, I went and bought new clothes. I went and bought a nice designers, black pants, $80 designers, long sleeve blue shirt, nice bow tie. And shoes was cleaned up, haircut, everything trimmed nice. I need to do a little more than that. So, I was thinking of Japanese versus America, USA, Japan, USA. Oh, easy. Got an American flag, got a Japanese flag. Sold them back to back right here. Nice little
I know that. We were watching the tape earlier. Yeah.
Is it in there now?
Yeah.
Pop it in.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to get over it. I'm looking for a way to get over it. So I didn't ask nobody permission to do that. I just did it. So we all flew over there, and I met Dusty in Atlanta. We were all on the same flight from Atlanta to Tokyo.
Go ahead.
We were all on the same flight from Atlanta to Tokyo. We bullshitted, and Dustin was on the tour.
Dustin Rhodes?
Yeah, because him and his dad were going to tag up against two Japanese guys.
That's right. Right.
So Dusty was telling Dustin the story about how I punched his dad in the jaw and blackened his eye up and all that shit. So here's exactly the shirt that got me my second run in the business.
There, it's hard for you fans at home to understand
Definitely
this,
can once the match gets started.
which is Tony in my position out here in center field. You know, these rules are rather unique, and it's almost a hybrid of the Japanese
now there's 65,000 people in
and
this
the
thing. This building is so
WCW
big, you cannot imagine working for the
Both
65,000 people.
organizations had no problem agreeing on that.
There you are. There's the flag. You see the flag right
It's been
there.
so
That's
hospitable
what
here.
got me over
It's
now.
been a great
But when I walk
experience
in
for
the
all of
dressing
us.
room, I don't walk
And
in
this was something we can't
in
see
a
right.
nice shirt like this, hanging around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm real kayfabe. I'm in my little corner. I'm watching everybody. Everybody's real humble. Plus, I'm the smallest guy in the totem pole. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I have credibility with the Japanese office because Matsuda brought me. He's Japanese. He's in the Japanese office.
Right.
And I have credibility with the Dusty and all them because I'm a legend in my own mind to them. You know. So I'm getting dressed in my corner and I wait for my spot. You know, I see all the officers getting together to go over this thing, this big production, and when my spot comes up, when they're talking about the production and stuff of the main event, that's where I finish getting dressed, and now things are starting to happen. I walk over, and the Japanese guys are, ooh, oh, like that. So they liked it. Dusty said, Fonzie, good, great. He's happy for me that I didn't work the Japanese office, that I impressed them, and yeah, that's fine, bam. So anyway, the match went over. I took a big bump. I did my flip. The big controversy. The thing got over, and everybody said thanks, hell of a job. So the night was over, and after one of those 65,000 people sellout crowd went over nationwide, taped, they must have made $10-15 million in this period of time over this one show. I think it was a $3 million gate.
You get a good payday for that, or?
I made $2,500 for that.
Wow. What's for one
and
match?
They flew me over. No, actually, I did the Giants match too against Curtis Hughes.
Right.
Okay. So they wanted me to do that match because they wanted somebody to help the Giant out because he was still green in the business.
Right.
And they knew I was smart and could help him out if he got stuck. But so after the show, Japanese office spares no expense. I mean, they flew me over business class, which was an $1,800 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in the Keo Plaza, which was $300. I'm beautiful, and they had a big party for both companies after, and shrimp like this. I mean, food, servants, as much drink and stuff as you want. And they had rented like a bar restaurant, and for us, because there was like 200 people there. You know, the production people, the boys, the fans, the office, the wives, and this and that, the music, the band. So the night was about over, and it was about, I guess everybody was at the same hotel. It was about 45 minutes from the hotel, so the bus dropped us off. Japanese bus dropped us off, and we were going to all catch cabs to go back to the hotel. No telling what time the party was going to get over, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4. So how I got back in my job into TBS, full-time, making $2,000 a week, driving a brand new Cadillac for 2 years, 365 days a year, was this. It's all a matter of being in the right place at the right time. I just had impressed the Japanese office. I just had made Dusty happy. I didn't impress him too much, but I just made Dusty happy. Everything was going good. I did my part. He was glad to see me. He didn't hire me. They did. So the end of the night, there was 30 of the boys there. You know, all the wrestler guys going back to the hotel. So Dusty and Matsuda and Flair and all them we were all standing out. There was a big line of the guys all bullshitting and stuff, and the cab would get up and they would put Dusty in there, you guys get in this cab, and the cab would go. The line was getting smaller and smaller, so the last 3 guys, everybody's gone, but the main event, which was the Ric Flair, the head of the Atlanta office, Dusty, and me.
Right.
We're the last 3 guys there. And I said, I need to say something pretty fucking witty here to Dusty because, you know, it's us 3, we're all laughing and bullshitting, and hopefully nobody's offered me a job or said, come on to Atlanta. So I said, hey, Dusty. He said, what, Fonzie? He said, what, baby? What you want, Fonzie? You know, he talks. I said, well, you know, we've been here for 2 days. I said, I spent all day today looking at real estate for you. I said, what are you talking about, Fonzie? I'm looking for real estate for the dream, baby. I said, what? Tell me, does this make sense, Dusty? I said, you guys just came over and did a joint production and it was the biggest show ever in the history of Japan, and it's going to be big, so you need an office here, right? Oh, fine. I said, you see that skyscraper over there with those 12 satellite dishes on top? That's a direct link to Ted Turner's office. I got all the quotes where I give them to you back at the hotel. He knew I was ripping them, but he liked it. I put him over so much that he was going to take over Japan and stuff, that he said, he started laughing and shit, so the cab put up, we all jump in the cab. So now he gets a little pop out of that. So I'm sitting in the front with a Japanese driver showing the Matsus Kyo Plaza, and Rick and Dusty are in the back seat. Now this is the first time for them to be alone since that morning, because they've been surrounded by Japs, all the big match, the big production, then the party. They had to be diplomatic.
Right.
Now this is the first time they're by themselves, the two guys, nobody else around but me, and they felt comfortable with me.
Right.
So I said, boy, we got it. We did the right thing. And they were happy as shit and talking all kind of strategy and stuff. Of course, I didn't say nothing.
Right.
So now it's an hour ride back to the hotel. So they talk for, 45 minutes and stuff. And finally they start running out of things to say. And Dusty says to Flair, who's that up in the front seat, Flair? And he said, that's Wild Bill Alfonso. That's what Flair used to call me. I used to ride with Flair when he came down. Me and Flair were good friends. And he says, Fonzie, baby, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. I'm going to have Terry call you Tuesday, baby. You got it, Fonzie? I'm going to have Terry call you Tuesday. I said, thanks, Reed. That's all I said.
Right.
Boom. No more was said on the plane, nothing except for, hey, Dusty, boom, boom, boom. I never said, oh, you can make sure Terry goes. Boom. Fucking, so we get back to the States. Everybody stays in Atlanta. I catch my flight home. Here comes Tuesday. The fucking phone rings. Boom. Bonds come up. We give you a starting date of January 15th. And a couple hours later, he said, we need you to come up January 2nd. Right away. Start right away. We want you right away. So,
that's the deal with Elegante, or?
No, because Ricky Santana had him then. And Ricky had some falling out with the office, and then I got him after Ricky. So I flew up there and got my first check. I knew everybody up there, so it's like I was back in the thing. Plus I just seen him in Japan, so everybody welcome to the club. There was a little jealousy in the referees, but I knew the referees, and it wasn't jealousy. I shouldn't even say that.
You get along with the Hebners at all, or?
Yeah. Oh, I love Dave and Earl. Yeah, real well.
You like some?
Yeah, I love Dave and Earl. Real good guys. So I get up there and I get my first check. Damn, this gotta be wrong. I said, Dream, I got a check this big. He said, how much was it? I said, $1,900. That's about right. Wow, are you sure?
Yeah.
I did it. I knew that was the right amount of money.
Right.
But we didn't agree on nothing.
Right.
Dusty didn't say, well, I'm bringing you 15, I'm gonna bring you 25,000. Whatever. He didn't say nothing, but I knew that was ballpark figure of what that caliber character was making. You know what I mean? The referee and these guys are making 600,000. Why can't I make 2,000?
Right.
Anyway. So, but I was putting Dusty over again, not kissing his ass, but saying, hey, I think I got a check too big. He laughed about it and says, you ought to see mine. It's this big. He's great. Okay, let's wind it up. I'm going to smoke a cigarette and relax.
Okay.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.